RBI, so clutch. And yes, baseball will be played at Wrigley Field today, and it's Jon Lester, 27-14 at the friendly confines. Cubs and Cards, always worth the wait, right here on ABC 7.
Right now from ABC 7 Chicago. This is Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7.
Winter may have won Wednesday, but we can confirm baseball in the forecast as the rivalry takes center stage. Cubs looking to earn the split in the shortened series in this one as they get set to host the Cardinals right here on ABC 7. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cubs Baseball. I am your hostess, Dion Miller. Today, we are officially 3 weeks into the regular season, but let's be real, there has been nothing regular about it. Remarkably bad weather has given the Cubs 3 of the last 4 days off. In fact, they've already had 5 games postponed on the young season, a fact that has made it very difficult for anyone to find their rhythm or routine, mainly their starting pitchers who are suddenly on an 8-day rotation. Today, Jon Lester and the Cubs offense are hoping to look a little bit more like themselves now that the weather is looking a little bit more like baseball. For more on our pitching matchup today, let's bring in Len and JD. And guys, it may not feel like spring, but at least Mother Nature is trying.
You know, it feels like summer, Dion, comparatively speaking. Temperatures in the 40s. We've been in the 30s pretty much the last week or so, but we're going to get right into our Goodwill pitching matchup. Amazing finds only at Goodwill.
Yeah, for the Cardinals here this afternoon, it's a young right-hander by the name of Luke Weaver. He's off to a good start. Friday in Cincinnati, 6 innings, allowed just 2 runs, throws hard, real good changeup. Jon Lester, it's been a mixed bag for the big lefty so far this year. His last outing against the Pirates, he gave up a three-run home run early in that game, went 5 innings, allowed 4.
Now JD's Subaru keys to the game, presented by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Lester B. Lester against the St. Louis Cardinals. He's been outstanding in his career, including the postseason. He's got a 2.16 earned run average against St. Louis. All hands on deck. Well, with all the days off, everybody in both bullpens fresh and ready to go today. Yadi, yadi, yadi. Molina's been very good against the Cubs in his career, and he's also put up very good numbers against Lester, 343 lifetime batting average for Molina against Big John.
All right, Dion, as you mentioned, 21 days into the baseball season, the Cubs have played just 15 games, and I guess to maybe paraphrase something the late Jerry Coleman might have said, I have 4 words to say to that. Not enough baseball.
That is a fact, and not enough Len and JD, if you want my opinion. Looking forward to this one for you guys today. But the stutter start to this season has certainly been reflected in the lack of rhythm in the Cubs offense. In fact, they've had just one consistently hot bat, and it belongs to Javier Baez. What a homestand he has had. That hot bat moving up in the order today against St. Louis. We'll have more from Wrigley as we get you set for baseball on ABC 7.
Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7 is being brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. By Mattress Firm. Go to mattressfirm.com to see how far your budget can stretch. And by Insure on the Spot. For quality insurance you can afford, head to insureonthespot.com. is being brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. By Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. By Lakeside Bank, personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And by U.S. Waterproofing, a better basement starts with us.
Welcome back to Wrigley, where it finally looks like the weather will cooperate to get this game in against St. Louis. You know, over the homestand, the Cubs offense has truly been Javier Baez or bust. 8 hits, 5 homers, 12 RBI in just 6 games. But it's really been a reflection of the Cubs scoring over the last 2 seasons that it's all been feast or famine. Take a look at our Comcast Business of Baseball. Since 2016, Cubs have been scoring 4+ more runs in wins than they have in losses. This season alone, in their victories, they're averaging nearly 9 runs a game. That's the most in baseball. But wow, when they lose, barely able to scratch a couple of runs across the plate. And that really is a description of just how inconsistent they've been, but how inconsistent the season has been. No one has yet found their rhythm, and they are hoping to take a step closer to doing that today. Jon Lester is on the hill. He is certainly rested. He's had a lot of success against St. Louis. When we come back, we'll hear from Joe Maddon as they get set for this finale against the Cards.
Brought to you by your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way.
It is certainly starting to look like game day around here at Wrigley as fans settle in for this finale against the Cardinals. Joe Maddon talks all the time about the continued growth we will see from some of the youngest superstars on this team, and this season we are already seeing it with Javier Baez. The game has clearly slowed down for him when he's in the field, when he's on the bases, and now we're starting to see it more consistently at the plate. Joe Maddon provides the evidence of how much growth he's already had.
He has, for the most part, he might take that out of control swing, but then he comes right back to reality pretty quickly now. Whereas that one will lead to the second one, then to the third one, then he come walking back. So I think he's making in at bat adjustments. His approach has been entirely different. He's willing to use the other side. He should have had a home run to right field the other day also. Everything he's doing is you're seeing the ascension. I've talked about this for a bit, where when the moment he starts laying off the down and away slider, he's Manny Ramirez. He's got that kind of abilities at the plate. It's just a matter of maturing as a hitter, which he will.
Wow, that is certainly high praise. Baez obviously has the hot bat, but Joe Maddon wants his energy at the top of the lineup. So he bats second today behind Albert Almora Jr., who will lead off as they look to get the W before they head out on their road trip. The temperature may not feel like baseball, but they will play a game this afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky, just perfection. So I encourage you to stay right where you are. Lose the remote. Len and JD have the call next. It's the Cubs and Cardinals right here on ABC 7.
Brought to you by your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. By Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. And brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company. And today's HD broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. And if you miss any of today's action, ABC 7 rebroadcasts each one of its Cubs matchups on the Live Well Network. Today's Cardinals-Cubs Encore will air in its entirety at 7 p.m. on ABC 7's digital channel 7.2 and the following cable channel positions. The sun is out. It's not warm, but it's not nearly as cold as it had been over the weekend. And then Tuesday night when the Cardinals beat the Cubs 5-3. It was 35 degrees as we got started, but it should be in the mid-40s today. And certainly, JD, a lot warmer in the sun than the shade.
Yeah, it
feels good in the sun.
Funny how your perspective changes, doesn't it? Everybody here at the ballpark kind of excited because it's not snowing and 26 degrees. It's good enough. We got plenty of sunshine.
5 postponements already in the first 3 weeks for the Cubs. So just trying to get into some sort of routine. We'll be off to the road again after this one today. 3-game weekend series at Colorado. Off day Monday in Cleveland. Quick 2-gamer against the Indians, and then right back home next weekend.
After that opening road trip, the Cubs in a very good stretch in terms of the home road breakdown on the schedule, and hoping to take advantage of that. So far it's been so-so, but they're in a stretch here of 16 out of 23 at Wrigley Field.
Bricks and Ivy ball last night. The Cubs big fundraiser. Cardinals stayed overnight. They had to leave their team hotel, but were able to find accommodations at the brand new Zachary right across the street. And the Cubs take the field behind Anthony Rizzo and John Lester. And here's a look at the Cardinals lineup. It's brought to you by Fix Auto. Call 1-800-INFO-FIX for the nearest location. Fix Auto, the first words that should come to mind after an accident. Fowler, the ex-Cub, leads it off. Harrison Bader is in center. Tommy Pham dealing with a minor, at least at this point, right groin issue. Carpenter had a big night in game 1. Ozuna, Martinez, and Molina occupy the middle. Jed Jerko recently came off the DL. He's at third. DeYoung plays short. And Luke Weaver, who can handle the bat, will hit ninth.
Cubs defensively, Kyle Schwarber plays left this afternoon. It's been equal parts Almora and Happ pretty much in center. Today it's Albert's turn. Jason Hayward is in right. So Bryant, Russell, Baez, and Rizzo on the infield. Wilson Contreras is behind the plate and 60 feet 6 inches away is the big left-hander John Lester, making his 4th start. This is career start number 100 in a Cub uniform for John. 1-0 this year with a .440 earned run average. Talked in our keys to the game about his good work against the Cardinals. His last 7 starts against St. Louis, 5 last year, 2 at the end of 2016. He is 4-1 with a 1.99 earned run average.
Jeff Nelson is from Minnesota, so this weather doesn't or shouldn't bother him that much. Laz Diaz at first, Andy Fletcher at second base, and Ramon De Jesus is over at third. The Cardinals are trying to complete their second 6-0 road trip in 2 seasons. They won all 4 in Cincinnati over the weekend, and then took game 1 here on Tuesday. So postponed Monday, that'll be made up in July. Canceled yesterday, and we're making that one up today. And here we go. It's Fowler taking ball 1 from John Lester.
John's last start came back on April 11th against the Pirates. A no decision, 5 innings, 4 runs allowed. And obviously he's had plenty of time to contemplate that one.
That one thumped to left and caught. A little leap and a grab by Schwarber on the warning track as that ball took off. So a loud first out.
This ball absolutely scalded by Fowler. Schwarber drifts a little bit on it, but at the end of the day, able to leave his feet and haul it in. Talking to John after his last start against the Pirates, he said he just had a hard time getting the ball in on right-handed hitters. Something he normally does very well. Goes east and west really well with the cutter and the two-seamer away.
Cornermen pulled in against Harrison Bader, and he takes off the outside corner. And the weather at first pitch is brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. For all the right reasons, call 866 Four Seasons. The key to that weather is that it's clear. A cloudless day here in Chicago, and we'll take it gladly.
If you're if you are watching us on television today, and you look at the pictures and you think, hey, it's 75 degrees and beautiful at the ballpark, and we'll let you believe that.
Bader just got hit. I mentioned Tommy Pham tweaked his groin the other night. He stayed in the game due to their short bench after Bader had been burned as a pinch hitter. And Bader is the first base runner of the afternoon. Now Matt Carpenter, who had 2 hits and knocked in 3 on Tuesday. He had a 2-run hit with the bases loaded. He now has the highest bases loading batting average ever with a minimum of 50 plate appearances, 22 out of 41. That's a .537 average. And he takes a strike on a fastball.
Better even than Pat Tabler.
I want to say Pat was in the upper 400s maybe.
I don't know. I just know he was really good in those situations.
Runner takes off. The pitch is outside. The throw hits Bader. So hit by a pitch, now hit by a throw. Contreras will be charged with an error. Bader gets his second steal of the early season.
This throw really sails on Contreras. I'm assuming he didn't get a good grip on that ball at all. Had to hurry it, obviously. Perhaps inclined to do a little running. The Pham is their best base stealer, but he's not in there today.
They also brought up one of their top prospects, an outfielder Tyler O'Neill, on the bench and available. And if he gets into the game today, it'll be his big league debut. Carpenter went around, and it's 1-2. That 1-1 pitch, always a big pitch in any sequence. So now Lester has the advantage, and the infield with 2 strikes will come in. And Almora shifting more toward left center. Here's the 1-2, knocked down by Contreras.
Not a lot of panic in Carpenter, even when he gets behind in the count. Very good at managing the strike zone, doesn't chase very much. Now he has struck out a lot more in the early going of this year than he normally does. Walked over 100 times last year.
He has struggled mightily against Lester as he waits on a 2-2 and fouls it upstairs.
He may be vulnerable here, and a lot of guys like Carpenter, patient, short stroke, and in this situation they're going to let that ball travel a little bit, get deep, because they don't want to get fooled by the breaking ball. So you might be able to get a fastball in on his hands, create a little weak contact.
2-2, missed, it's full. Ozuna is on deck. You mentioned Lester making career start number 100 as a Cub. This is his first start in 8 days. He's always been good against the Cardinals, not only in the regular season, but particularly in the postseason. Line to Baez, double play, maybe. Oh, it stayed in. Bader will head back and tag and stay there. Oh, Baez had an easy double play, and the throw got away. And fortunately, it hit the railing above the dugout. And stayed in, so 2 down.
Yeah, well, this is a bang-bang play, a reaction play. Baez, as he catches the ball, has his back towards the base runner Bader at third base. So he has no idea where he is. His instincts are telling him he's just a step or two off the bag, and I'm going to turn and fire this ball to third base before he can get back to the bag. It's one of those plays where, you know, he's thinking, I don't have time to assess the situation. I'm just going to turn and fire a seed over there.
So it's possible that ball would have been in the stands, right? With the old dugout configuration. Swing and a miss by Ozuna.
2 very loud outs here in the first inning for the Cardinals.
Infield back with 2 gone. Here comes Bader, and he will score. Go figure. 1-0 Cardinals. So a wild pitch. Charge to Lester, and that's too bad.
Yeah, cutter down in the dirt, and Contreras not able to keep it in front. Eventful trip around the bases for Bader.
Meanwhile, 1-1 on Ozuna. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Like a changeup. Career .230 in the regular season against the Cardinals for John. 3 career starts in the playoffs, a .159 earned run average. Called strike 3, his first strikeout, but they get a run without a hit. And the Cubs are coming up when we return. Albert Almora Jr. turned 24 earlier this week. Homered in his last start. Baez has been red hot. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Wilson Contreras all moved down in the order to accommodate Baez. Schwarber in left, Russell the shortstop, Hayward the ex-Cardinal, and Lester the pitcher.
Cardinals defensively, Ozuna plays left, Bader's the center fielder, Dexter Fowler in right, Jerko DeYoung, Carpenter Martinez third to first, 8-time Gold Glover Molina. And on the mound, it's a young right-hander by the name of Luke Weaver. He's 24 years old, 6'2", a $180, a bundle of energy out there, and he's been really good. 2-0 with a 2.08 through 3 starts.
Pitching where he made his major league debut here at Wrigley Field. 2 strikes on Almora. No Ben Zobrist in the lineup. Might be available to pinch hit as he deals with a tight back.
96 off the outside corner. The scouting report on Weaver. Good heater, real good changeup, curve ball, outstanding command. First round pick of the Cardinals back in 2014.
He fires on an 0-2, and Almora lines foul. The Cardinals have the best starters ERA in the National League in the early going, 3 weeks in, at 3.14. And on this 5-game winning streak, their starters have all gotten victories. Ground ball to third. That's Jed Jerko. We're out number 1.
Weaver made 10 starts for the Cardinals last year. So last year in this combined, he is now 9-2 with a 348 earned run average.
Michael Wacha, when this was a 3-game series, was originally supposed to be a part of it, but they pushed him back, and going with Wainwright and Weaver. And a first pitch strike to Baez.
No place like road for Luke Weaver.
Baez with a liner that will get down and go all the way to the wall. He's got 13 hits. He's going to try for a triple, and he's going to make it. I don't know if there was a bobble out there. I was watching Javi, but after slowing down as he neared second, he decided, I'm going for 3.
Yeah, there was a bobble in the outfield, so he was able to shift it back into high gear. It's a little bit of a sloppy slider, but another really good swing by Baez, who's shown an inclination of late to use the opposite field. And he has been an extra base hit machine.
Well, he was credited with a triple. So there you see it, 13 hits, 11 for extra bases. And the Cardinals bring their infield in against Chris Bryant, and the pitch is taken high on a fastball.
Joe Maddon was asked before the game about Baez moving up in the batting order. He said, yeah, he's swinging the bat well. I like the energy he'll bring to the top of the order. Kind of like the look of this lineup with Bryant in the 3 spot and Riz cleanup.
Yeah, it was this week, the 3-year anniversary of his major league debut. And look where he ranks among National League hitters. One and one on Chris. Low and outside. Cardinals getting a run in the top of the inning off John Lester. Cubs had given up a league low 5 first-inning runs prior to today, and that run was unearned. Two and two. Got a big piece of Molina. Remember, Molina's season ended a week early, or at least in the final week. Remember, he took consecutive foul balls off his mask.
Yeah, he looked very wobbly
against the Cubs. Yeah.
Foul ball got a lot of Molina, and the pitch got a lot of home plate. We were lucky Ryan didn't do some damage there.
Deflecting off Jerko's glove into left. Bryant with an RBI hit, and it's 1-1. Well, that didn't take long.
No, infield drawn in, sharply hit. Jerko gets leather on it. And that's about it. The mishandle in the outfield Really change the dynamics of this inning. Baez gets to third. Matheny decides to play the infield in. Bryant exploits that, and we're tied.
Anthony Rizzo came off the DL on Tuesday. 0 for 3. He reached twice on a hit by pitch and a walk. Trying to get his season going as he's just 3 out of 31. Two balls, no strikes.
Weather permitting, Cub hitters will be able to have an opportunity at least to fatten the batting averages that we head to Denver after the ball game today for a weekend set with the Rockies, where hitters' dreams come true. He's in a favorable count here, so he can step out. See if he can lock in on one.
Martinez holds on Bryant. And the pitch. It's low. Got a cross breeze right now coming out of the northeast. So if you're a left-handed power hitter, you can get it out to right. You just have to keep it fair.
No, he's got the green light here.
And that'll get in. Wasn't hit all that hard, but perfectly placed. 3 consecutive one-out hits.
And Weaver had been stingy. 17 1/3 innings of work coming into the start. He had allowed only 12 hits. That's a 197 batting average. And didn't get the barrel on it. He's a strong young man and gives himself a knock. This is officially a rally.
Yeah, 3 consecutive hits. Would mean a rally for sure.
It's in the dictionary. You can look it up.
It is.
In the baseball dictionary.
Yeah, Dixon's baseball dictionary. Let's take a look at the home run leaderboard, brought to you by Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Cubs catchers. Gabby Hartnett, 6 in a single season against the Cardinals. I don't want to make you look up the homer in the Gloman. Was that against the Pirates?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I was thinking Cardinals, but I think it was Pittsburgh. About what, 80 years ago?
Yep.
1-1 is high. I welcome those viewers watching Coast to Coast on MLB Network today. We weren't expecting to be here. We tried to get the game in yesterday, but the weather said, yeah, why don't you wait a day? And we're glad we did. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, these teams have played in enough bad weather already, and the mutual off day today and a brighter forecast, it made perfect sense to wait and play today.
Foul that hit the net above the Cardinal dugout.
Weaver averaging about 93 miles per hour with his fastball this year. We're seeing lots of 94, 95, 96 from the young right-hander here.
Cubs are making him work. Already a run in. They have Bryant at second base. Rizzo's at first. Swing and a miss. There's power to fastball by him. The 2 Cubs retired, and now Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty frisky, attacking with that good heater right through the zone. Little run on it. Beats Contreras. Carpenter came in to clean his spikes, and the umpire was motioning Andy Fletcher out there at second base. No visit, so he must have cleared it with Andy.
Got it. Good catch. I didn't see it. Outside for ball 1 on Schwarber, who has walked 4 times over the last 2 games, including twice with the bases loaded.
So not hitting for average, but a .352 on base percentage.
Ground ball into center. Bryant around third. He will score, and the Cubs lead 2-1.
Fourth hit of the inning, solid single by Schwarber. Cubs have been kind of feast or famine so far offensively this year. And coming into this ball game, has scored 75 runs, 37 of those runs, so basically half of them coming in 3 ball games.
Addison Russell has had a tough homestand, 3 out of 20. He has added 4 walks. And he looks at ball 1 outside. By the way, that Rizzo single is the 2nd hit of his career in a 3-0 count. That's surprising to me. I don't know this, but I'm guessing the other one was a home run, right? 3-0, you're usually thinking big.
Yeah. Oh, it's
1-2.
So guys like Rizzo, the big sluggers, they're not always going to get that cookie on 3-0 like other guys might.
Yes, the other hit was a home run. He had been 1 for 16 when putting a ball in play in a 3-0 count. But his on base percentage on 3-0?
Yeah, it's probably through the roof.
.894 because of 122 walks.
Yeah. Goes 4-0 a lot.
Yeah, that's fun. Bader will make the catch, and the igniter once again, Javier Baez. He tripled to start the rally with 1 out, and the Cubs get a couple and lead 2-1 after an inning.
1 week from tomorrow, the Cubs take on the Brewers. First pitch at 1:20, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Cubs fleece blanket presented by American Airlines. Tickets are available at Cubs.com.
Very timely giveaway. Jose Martinez 0 for 4 with a walk in the series opener. Lester gave up an unearned run in the first inning. Cubs got 2 earned runs in the bottom of the first.
A little bit surprised they have not assessed an error to Fowler on the Baez double/triple.
Well, Javi slowed down, but he never came to a stop. So the thought might have been, even if there's no bobble, he might have continued. But I probably would agree with you.
He was breaking it down.
I mentioned the other night the story of Martinez, who did not make his major league debut until his 11th pro season, and with his 4th organization. His late father Carlos was a corner infielder from the late 80s to the mid 90s, and more on him a little later as he takes a called third. So Lester picks up back-to-back Ks as he struck out Ozuna to end the first. Now Molina.
The challenge for the modern starting pitcher is not only to be good, but to be efficient. To keep the pitch count down, give yourself a chance to pitch deeper into the ball game.
Molina out into deep left center. Almora is back, and he's got it on the warning track. Molina takes Lester to the track, but a nice catch by Almora.
Challenge with the first pitch. Molina puts a good swing on it. Almora tracks it nicely. Hello, Wall.
It's a sequel to Goodnight Moon.
Old country song. Hello, Wall.
Jed Jerko, West Virginia native, takes outside and high. Who did Hello Wall?
Is it Ferlin something? It's one way to find out.
Yeah. Farron Young?
Farron, there we go.
Hello Walls.
Walls.
Just missed the outside. 3 balls, no strikes on a guy with a lot of pop.
Yeah, they might turn him loose here with 2 outs and nobody on. Look for a little damage.
Jerko came off the DL before the first game of this series. He had a strained hamstring, and he reaches on a 2-out walk. That'll bring up the shortstop, Paul DeYoung.
That's the thing with this Cardinal lineup. They've got dangerous bats throughout. Jerko 7, DeYoung 8 here today, and they both can hit the ball out of the ballpark. DeYoung did it a whole bunch last year in his rookie season, and he's done it 5 times already this year, including a big one the other day off Pedro Strop.
He had a weird night. 1 for 5 with that home run and 4 strikeouts. Inside corner, it's a strike.
Yeah, that's the one for John right there. Hard cutter in under the hands.
Shallow right. Here comes Hayward, and he's got it. And the Cardinals done in the second inning. Hayward will lead it off for the Cubs, leading 2-1. 7 Eyewitness News. Terrell Brown, Tanya Babich, Roz Barron, and meteorologist Tracy Butler will get you ready to start your day with the latest news, weather, and traffic. Enjoying some sunshine in the bleachers. Weaver to Hayward. And a strike. Ground ball in the left. Leadoff single. Here comes Lester.
5th hit of the day for the Cubs already.
So Jeff Nelson telling John Lester, once the clock hits 0, that's it for the warm-up pitches. So they had a conversation after the inning just to clarify.
And Joe saying, hey, it's cold out there, man. I don't want my guy to get hurt. Umpire's in a tough position, right? Because there's rules in place and all the emphasis on pace of play and trying to move things along.
Popped up on the bunt, back to the screen. A good catch by our crew. So I guess he had gotten to the mound with about 1:10 to go on that clock. And a lot of guys, you know, in a minute, they'll be able to get their 7 or 8 pitches in no problem. But he had only thrown 6. You know, and for some guys, to be honest, it might not even be about getting loose. It's just about the routine of I need my 8 because that's what I always take, like stepping over the chalk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, just get into a certain rhythm and whoop, that'll work. Sure, standing bunker
to Martinez, so Lester gets down the sac bunt.
And a lot of times when the weather's warm and if the half innings are moving quickly, you'll go out there as a pitcher and you don't need but 4 or 5.
Almora from the leadoff spot, grounded out in the first. And a swing and a miss.
There's a story, and I don't know how true it is. I heard this years ago. Guidry versus Ryan back in the day in the 70s, and they were just mowing them down, Yankees Angels, and by the end of it, they weren't taking any warm-up pitches. Like Gator would go out there and maybe throw 3 or 4 and say, I'm good, let's go. So no one would go out there and do the same thing. And they were just kind of looking at each other across the field. And finally somebody went out there and just, you know, I'm ready. Half innings were over. Boom, 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 boom.
Lester chatting with his pitching coach about that issue. That's great. One and 2 on Almora. Cubs with 4 hits and 2 runs in the first inning. On a little dribble, it'll get into right, and the Cubs will get their 3rd run. Perfectly placed. Three to 1.
Work him away. It's a cut fastball. Up out of the zone, right off the end of the bat, shatters his bat, and he just squeaks on through.
Baez with a triple and a run in the first. Our stat of the game brought to you by Mattress Firm. So we look at early season OPS by Cubs second baseman. Mattress Firm, where your budget stretches further.
Among the league leaders with 16 runs batted in. Very robust slugging average of .712 now. That's rather Ruthian if you were to keep that up.
Favorable count. 2 balls, no strikes.
Weaver's fastball command's been a little spotty here today. Going to set up outside edge, looking for that low fastball, and that one was elevated toward the middle of the plate.
Two and two. A win would get the Cubs to 8-8. They've hit the 500 mark at every number so far to start the year. Cardinals starting the day at 10-7, a game and a half behind the 12-6 Pirates. Milwaukee 10-9. The Reds 3-15 fired their manager this morning, Brian Price, and their pitching coach, Mac Jenkins. Ground ball into right. Almora on his way to third, and he'll get there without a throw. I'm not sure Carpenter would have fielded that ground ball, but he did not get a good look at it. Very late moving after that ball came off the bat.
Yeah, and he doesn't have great range to begin with. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, had to have a chat with Weaver. Again, Baez using the whole field.
So 7 hits in the first 2 innings. Maddox talks it over, and earlier today Brian Price fired after a rough go as the Reds manager. Former Cubs skipper Jim Riggleman takes over on an interim basis. And the irony, and I think kind of the cruel twist of fate for Brian, real good guy, you know, Brian, is that their pitching really struggled, and the reason they were so far under 500.
Yeah, and I think they, more than anything, they just threw a little bone to their fans there that we're going to try something different.
High fly ball, well hit. Will it have enough? It's caught. The wind knocked it down. Both guys tagging. Almora scores. Baez safe at second, and it's 4-1. That could have been a 3-run homer, but not today.
Maybe just a little bit too much air under this one, but he drives it a long way. Good heads-up base running by Baez to realize, well, it's either going to fly into the seats or he's going to catch it out there, and I'm going to have an opportunity to tag up and get into scoring position.
So 2-run first. 2 more here in the second, and the batter is Rizzo in an RBI spot. He takes a little low and outside.
Price was in a bit of a lame duck situation. His contract set to expire at the end of this year. They did not pick up an additional option on his contract. There's been a lot of talk that Brian's been on the hot seat the last couple of years there. And one name that you hear from time to time is Barry Larkin, the all-time great Reds. He's let it be known that he would like to manage. Jimmy Riggleman, who's, as you mentioned, the interim now, he's got plenty of experience. They have John Farrell working in their organization now.
That's right. Off the mound, now get into center. Baez around third. Bader's throw to the plate. Not in time on the throw. Rizzo advances to second. It's 5-1.
Well, it's great work by the Cub hitters here today. You hear from Joe Maddon all the time. Move the baseball, cut down on strikeouts, put the ball in play. I'm pretty well positioned there, close to second base. Still cannot make a play on this shot. Off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. The mound took a little steam out of it, but still solid single to plate Baez.
So RBIs in this game from Almora, 2 from Bryant, Rizzo, Schwarber, all knocked in runs. Let's take a look at the NL Central standings, brought to you by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Glass half full if you're a Reds fan. You ready?
Yeah.
You're not in the American League East. You'd be 12.5 out. Red Sox are 15-2.
The only 2 outs in this inning, both on sacrifices. The sac bunt by Lester, the sac fly by Bryant.
Can't sacrifice with 2 outs. So I guess that would have tied a major league record, right?
I think it did.
Amount of sacrifice.
That could be on a bumper sticker. You can't sacrifice with 2 outs.
Well, you know, you could have more than 2 sacrifices in an inning, right? Because if an out is not recorded, you could have more than 2.
Mm-hmm.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Hit him.
So the Cubs, who lead the major leagues in hit by pitches, that's 18, and it's also an 8-game hit by pitch streak. It's the longest such streak for the Cubs since at least 1908. Very odd.
You think it was a point of emphasis in spring training? Hey guys, we got to up those hit by pitches.
Doesn't hurt your on base percentage. Just don't want anybody to get hurt. Freddie Freeman, there was some concern about his wrist after he got hit, but I guess he's day to day.
Yeah, I think the MRI or X-ray, whatever imaging they did, came back clean.
Line the other way. Rizzo to third. Brian Butterfield will send him, and it's 6-1. And the Cardinals will probably have to get somebody up here in the second inning.
I would think somebody would be up by now. We talked about with the off days, both bullpens should be pretty fresh and ready to go. Boy, another piece of outstanding hitting as Schwarber shoots this ball the other way. Chili Davis has to be just giddy down there in the Cubs dugout. Running fastball, belt high. Take a spray chart of the Cubs hits in this game. There's going to be a whole lot from, you know, alley to alley.
Five out of 7 now with men in scoring position. And that is Matt Bowman cranking it up in the Cardinal bullpen. One and 1 the count on Russell, 9th batter of the inning.
Weaver has allowed 9 hits here today. While recording 5 outs, he had allowed 12 hits in his previous 3 starts. Maybe it's just the BABIP gods getting to him.
Hayward started the inning with a single. He's on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Russell. Ground ball to the shortstop. DeYoung will flip to Carpenter. Cubs add 4 to their lead. It's 6-1.
Twice in the bottom of the second, making him even more annoyed that home plate umpire Jeff Nelson warned him about pushing that warm-up clock now that he's back on the mound. Lester frustrated in the dugout as he discussed it with Jim Hickey. Now Lester is such a pitcher of routine, but 8 days off between starts has made that incredibly tough to come by. Toughest challenge with all that time off is obviously mental, and the Cubs are trying to just push through at this point. Len.
Dion, thank you. So Luke Weaver takes the at bat here, trailing 6-1, and flies to left. Well, there you go. 2 of his postseason starts came with the Red Sox in the 2013 World Series, and he won both those games. Facing a former teammate, Dexter Fowler. And it's a strike. Swing and a miss on the switch hitter. It's 0-2.
Slow start for Dexter. Batting average down to $188 now with the line out. Fly out to a left in the first. Hit that ball sharply. I think they want to go up here.
A wind and a 1-2 is wide.
I remember an old time scout telling me, I can't remember what pitcher he was referencing. He goes, yeah, he had a good change of face. You look inside and throw outside.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah. You had to do that. You had a catcher stand up like that and throw one knee high.
Swing and a miss. He got him. With Cutter, the moneymaker from Leicester, and the Hooters hot play brought to you by your Chicagoland Hooters. How about this trip around the bases? Bader gets hit, then the throw hits him, and he advances to third on the error by Contreras. Then he was a dead duck at third, but the throw bounced, and then he scores on a wild pitch.
Reminds me a little bit of the Stevens Piscotty trip around the bases last year. He got hit on 3 different occasions.
Leicester has not allowed a hit. 2 base runners, that hit by pitch, and then the Churko walk in the second. Lifted foul off to the right.
Bader had a little big league time last year with the Cardinals, batted .235, 85 at bats. He was their minor league player of the year. 20 home runs at AAA.
Ground ball foul. Looking forward to many matchups with the hard throwing Brewers left-hander Josh Hader.
Yeah, the Bader-Hader matchup. Yeah, or Hader-Bader.
It'll happen later.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Doug Rader in there. Playing third. Here's the pitch from Hader. It's hit pulled by Bader to Rader. Well, we made it all the way to the 3rd inning before we got silly.
Emergency hack
Defensive,
that time.
Yeah. Maybe thinking Cutter in and just late adjustment, try to get a piece.
Well, you know, Bader went to Florida. He was a Gator. That's true.
Bader the Gator, yeah. I like it.
Full count with Carpenter waiting on deck.
A lot of guys, when they feel like I just got to throw a strike here, they're going to go arm side. They're going to throw a 2-seamer to the outside corner. For John, he's more comfortable throwing that cutter in on a right-handed hitter. That's the pitch he's most confident in his ability to execute.
Popped up. Wynn taking that one into foul territory, and nobody got it. It was Baez and Rizzo. They're both in the area.
Baez like a basketball player who's saying, "Yeah, the foul's on me," raising his hands as if to say that's my fault, but he's just over here to try to provide a little support because Anthony's twisting. It's a bright day. The wind's blowing that ball all over the place.
Yeah, you got to give the error to the guy who raises his hand, for sure. Schwarber makes the catch.
Only cost him a pitch.
Yep. All Cubs early. It's 6-1 in the 3rd. April 28th, the Cubs battle the Brewers at 1:20. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans get a dancing bullpen beverage tumbler presented by Pepsi. Tickets are still available for the game at Cubs.com. Jason Hayward lifting into center. Bader back now in. One pitch and one out. Weaver, the starter, still in there after a rough couple of innings.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to hang in there and try to string some bagels on the scoreboard for his mates out there in the bullpen. That's easier said than done. You know, you come into the start, you've had a few days off. He's been rolling nicely, so you come in with a lot of adrenaline. You're anxious. You give up 6 runs on 9 hits in 2 innings. It would be very easy to become deflated and kind of lose your competitive edge.
Well, Lester, who has not surrendered a hit on the mound through 3, laid down a sacrifice bunt. His only time up. 1-1. Tigers blasting the Orioles 12-4 in Detroit today as they go to the 7th inning in that one. Starting up in about 20 minutes, the Astros and the Mariners. Charlie Morton against former Cardinal Marco Gonzalez.
Baltimore club has lost 5 in a row.
They blew a late lead yesterday.
Good swing.
Pirates and Phillies matching up tonight in Philadelphia. Both teams off to really good starts as John takes a called third.
Okay.
Stay ahead of the forecast with ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott, Larry Mowry, Phil Schwartz, and Tracy Butler are the first to alert you to changing conditions and severe weather. ABC 7 Eyewitness News, your AccuWeather station. Oh man, nailed the post. A strike on Almora.
The Kansas Cities have lost 8 in a row. They're 3-13 now. That's fair ball, no?
Foul. Call made by Ramon De Jesus over at third. Matt Harvey will pitch for the Mets tonight in Atlanta. Mets are 13-4 and 6-0 on the road.
Atlanta signed Jose Bautista.
He's going to head to extended spring training and play some third base. So Weaver needed a 1-2-3, but he's still down a bunch. 6-1. Four Winds Casinos, your entertainment escape. Ball one on Matt Carpenter. He lined to second in the first inning as the Cardinals grabbed a short-lived lead. Cubs have scored the last 6 runs in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ball 1 to Carpenter, but John has thrown first pitch strikes to 7 of the first 11 he'd faced prior to Carpenter, and very good in that regard this year. 70% first strike percentage for John through his first 3 starts.
The overall pitching numbers for the Cubs, they put up a 259 on the first road trip. Going into today, it's 6.17. Certainly the rotation overall needs to be and should be a lot better. Came in with a 5.31 starters ERA.
And that gets back to that efficiency question, the ability to pitch deeper into a game. That's a challenge. We talked about the plight of the modern pitcher. Managers don't want them to see a lineup for 4th time and even for a 3rd time, unless you're really locked in. But if you're in a competitive game and you're about to face the meat of the order for the 3rd time, somebody's up in that bullpen ready to replace you. So you give up a 3 spot early, you don't have the chance on most outings to pitch into the 7th inning, to turn a 5-inning 3-run performance into a 6 2/3 innings 3-run performance.
Pitch number 8 of the sequence. A high drive, pretty well hit. Almora tracking, and it'll be Hayward to make the catch. That ball was in the air a long time, and thankfully they had good communication out there and no collision, and they get Carpenter. Boy, a lot of hang time on that fly ball.
Yeah, a couple loud outs for Carpenter now in the game. He lined out to second base first time. He puts a pretty good charge into this one, and it's hanging and stays in the air long enough. Hayward's going to find it.
Cardinals have hit a home run in 10 consecutive games here at Wrigley Field. Going into today, outside on Ozuna.
A couple long balls so far this year for Ozuna. He had 37 last year for the Marlins.
Even though they've hit a homer in 10 straight, they've gone, what, 2 and 8 during this home run streak. So that's where the stat doesn't tell the whole story all the time. Let's take a look at the perfect pitch. It's brought to you by Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
3 strikeouts for John today, 2 looking. He got Ozuna with a real good fastball. You see Contreras set up in the outside corner. Lester hits the spot.
Speaking of hitting the spot, traditional German Weiss beer with natural lemonade flavor for a taste that's perfect. Lakeside, dockside, or just plain outside. Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. Welcome to the Liney side. Thanks for the segue. He struck him out. That's out number 2 here in the 4th.
Fastball called last time. Breaking pitch, swing and miss this time. Hasn't used the curveball much this afternoon. Might see that a little bit more as he works his way through the lineup again.
Jose Martinez mentioned his late father Carlos played in the American League, corner infielder. He was a White Sox main first baseman when Frank Thomas came to the major leagues in 1990. The following year, Carlos had to battle Jim Thome for playing time as a backup third baseman with the Indians. And he hit the famous or infamous home run that bounced off Jose Canseco's head in 1993. One ball and one strike. Another note of interest on Jose Martinez. He's believed to be the first baseball player to return from a meniscus transplant procedure. Had the surgery back in 2009. 2-1.
Played in close to 900 minor league games before making his major league debut. Well over 3,000 at bats.
Lester turns and throws, and it's way inside. 3-1 with Molina somewhat on deck.
He doesn't have to walk. Doesn't want to walk too far if Martinez makes the third out.
It's a smart analysis there. That ball just foul.
To be able to hurry in, get his gear on, so his pitcher can have enough time to warm up. Martinez is a big guy, and throughout all those minor league seasons, he hit for average, but he did not hit for a lot of power, and no doubt that's what slowed his ascent to the big leagues down.
Well, an awkward landing there on that swing. He looked like he kind of rolled his ankle. He's had some foot issues he's been dealing with.
Yeah, a wrist too. He's questionable coming into this series. So it's funny, you know, you look at the body, right? He's what, 6'7", big, big strong guy, and you think, okay, there's probably a lot of power there. But he probably strikes out a lot, and neither one of those is true. He doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he doesn't strike out much at all. He's actually walked more than he has struck out. He's got an on-base percentage of .423. Good against lefties.
He's giving Lester a good battle here. See John staying off the edges as much as possible, even with a 6-1 lead. He rarely gives in.
Be as close to the plate and as far away from the barrel as possible.
Diving stab. Chris Bryant helping out John Lester, who has not allowed a hit through 4. Remember that play. Possibly a little later on this afternoon. 6-1 Cubs. day of hits for the Cubs. 9 of them through 3 innings.
Such a good approach. A lot of stuff. Alley to alley. Baez has gone the other way twice. Having a big homestand.
Triple, single, 2 runs. And in this shortened 2-game series, he's 5 out of 6. Double, triple, home run. So he's got a series cycle.
Blasted a low fastball into the seats the other day here. It was a very impressive swing of the bat. And you just saw that wild swing at that first breaking ball for strike one. And what Joe Maddon was pointing out before the game is what he's seen from Javi lately is, yeah, he'll still take that big aggressive swing from time to time, but normally he'll check himself after he does it. Good changeup.
2-2 now.
Didn't feel for that pitch. It was a changeup that he got Almora with to finish the last inning. Want to have a Weaver off?
Oh, man. I'd have to think, but sure.
Jared.
Bader in center will make the catch. Jeff.
Buck.
Okay. How about Earl?
Solid. Jim Weaver, contemporary mine. We played in AAA, and he had big league time. Jim did with the Twins, and I think Detroit too.
All right. Check swing bouncer. How about Dennis Weaver? Go on a baseball.
Absolutely.
Martinez. Nice pick over there at first base.
Because that's where I was going next. I'm out of baseball, Weavers. Sigourney.
Rizzo bats with 2 outs. He's 2 for 2 today. Knocked in a run, scored in the second.
Old-time Hollywood Square fans would remember Charlie Weaver.
Yes.
Down there in the corner. This Weaver, Luke, salvaging something here the way he's been throwing the ball here the last couple of innings.
Charlie Weaver was another Charlie Weaver, former NFL linebacker as well. Two and 1 to Rizzo. Big rip at that pitch, found it straight back.
Baez triple, the only extra base hit that Weaver has allowed today. So you can make the case that he's been a little unlucky.
Part of earning your stripes as a big league starter is giving your team a few extra innings after you get knocked around, saving the bullpen, not crumbling. He's trying to work back-to-back 1-2-3s here. Still 3-2 on Rizzo. And he walked him. Third reach for Anthony. Brings up Contreras, and speaking of the name game, there is one other Wilson with 2 L's in big league history.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Kid Wilson. His real name was Frank, but he went by Kid. Played for the White Sox briefly in 1918 and then again in 1927. Wilson, W-I-L-L-S-O-N. So now you know. Swinging strike. We'll see the Indians in Cleveland next week. They just wrapped up a series split in Puerto Rico against the Twins. Minnesota winning 2-1 in 16 innings last night. Popped him up on the infield, back a second. Carpenter will vacate as DeYoung drifts over and makes the grab. Cubs strand 1. They've got a 6-1 lead as we head to the 5th. Cubs blog at abc7chicago.com/Cubs, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Molina flied to the warning track in the 2nd inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. This next pitch will be number 70 for Lester, working here in the 5th inning. Deep breath by the big southpaw on his 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. 1 strikeout every inning so far for John Lester. Jerko walked in the second, sitting on 99 career homers. And a foul right at the plate. So it was a couple years ago when he and the Mets at the time, Curtis Granderson is now with the Blue Jays, both set a new record for fewest RBIs in a 30-homer season. 59 knocked in. Last year, Kyle Schwarber would match that. 30 homers, 59 RBIs. And Schwarber will have to play this one on a couple of bounces as the Cardinals garner their first hit of the day.
Second time Jerko has reached. He walked with 2 outs in the second.
Here's DeYoung. Love getting that call. One strike.
Yeah.
And DeYoung.
If you can get that call, keep banging away out there. Good sinker down and away. It could be a double play ball for him.
Easy play for Hayward. Two outs, and we've got a major league debut. Tyler O'Neill, who was really put together. And was off to a great start in the minor leagues. Bat for the first time in the big leagues.
He was lighting it up at AAA. He was in camp with the Cardinals, but was hurt, did not get a lot of playing time. Big time power prospect.
Drafted by the Mariners, came over last year for Marco Gonzalez, pitching today for Seattle. So he bats for Weaver. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, there is that in his game as well. He swing and miss a whole lot. But 31 home runs at AAA last year, split between Tacoma and Memphis.
Strike two.
Compact though, right? I mean, he's not real tall, 5'11".
Laid off that curveball in the dirt. 22-year-old Tyler O'Neill
from British Columbia.
Swing and a miss. So welcome to the show, Tyler O'Neill. John Lester strikes him out. The Cardinals on the hit board, but the Cubs lead the game 6-1.
Haircuts. Check in online at sportclips.com/check-in and claim your spot today at any of the over 90 Chicagoland locations. New hurler for the Cardinals is right-hander Matt Bowman. He's working for the 9th time. No wins, no losses, a 4.91 ERA. This is his 3rd season with the Cardinals. Worked 75 times for them last year. It's a bullpen that leans heavily to the right side. They only have one lefty out there, Tyler Lyons. Bowman, one of a couple of the right-handers who did not work in the series opener the other day. Likes to sink his fastball, slider, curve, and a splitter.
Ball 1 on Schwarber.
He's 2 out of 2 today. These Cub hitters gaining a little momentum before the weekend set in Colorado.
Rockies will get Nolan Arenado back from the suspended list, but they might be without Carlos Gonzalez, who made a great diving catch in Pittsburgh yesterday, but in the process strained his hamstring. Kyle Hendricks and John Gray, scheduled starters.
Contrasting styles there, huh? The finesse of Hendricks, the power of Gray.
Well, Kyle hasn't pitched in forever. A bouncer and flubbed briefly, but Jerko will make the play. Only guy over there between 2nd and 3rd.
And Schwarber clearly trying to go that way in this at bat. And we've seen that from him a little bit lately. We'll see if clubs start to adjust, or if they say, go ahead, hit it on the ground to the left side. We'll gladly accept that, as opposed to trying to lift it out of the ballpark against us. I think if you're Kyle, you just let the game situation dictate that approach. Leading off an inning, if they're going to play the shift, base hit could get something big started. Why not go for it?
Ball 1 on Russell. We want to welcome a new Cubs fan into the world, Beatrix Rose Prescott. Parents Hayden and Abby. Dad a big Cardinal fan, but mom's going to make sure the baby's raised right.
She's going to have the baby baptized into the Cub religion.
Yeah. 50th class reunion from the Immaculata High School, not too far from here on Irving Park and Lakeshore Drive. They're celebrating here at Wrigley Field, so welcome back to the class of '68. Strike is dropped by Molina. 1-2.
68. The Cardinal Media Guide. They got a picture of Bob Gibson on the cover. They're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Gibson's remarkable year. He posted that 1.12 ERA, and Major League Baseball lowered the mound after that year. Got to give the hitters a break.
One-two offer. Bounced over the mound, charged by Carpenter late. Russell needed a hit, and he gets one.
Yeah, any old way, right? This little chopper right off home plate. We talked about the Bowman sinker, so he got the ground ball he was looking for, but Russell gets a good break out of the box. Carpenter kind of measured in his approach, where urgency was probably in order. Maybe a bare hand play, but anyway, it's a knock for Addison Russell.
Hayward batting 8th today, 1 for 2 with a run scored. And Bowman will check on the runner.
Yeah, I like the little run and hit here, huh? A hit and run. Stay out of the double play. Probably going to get a sinker from Bowman here, who's going to be hunting for that ground ball.
Well, he'll be hunting because he's a Bowman.
He is a Bowman. He's a Princeton Tiger. He played collegiately at Princeton under the tutelage of former big leaguer Scott Bradley, as did Cubs first base coach Will Venable.
How many sports did Bowman play?
Yeah, it seems like they all play multiple, don't they? Chris Young played basketball and baseball there. As did
Will Venable, yeah. Russell typically takes a pretty big lead, and Jose Martinez thinks the tag beat him.
Like Matheny is just looking at Martinez and pointing to the mound, say, just throw the ball back to the pitcher. They're not gonna give it up though.
Okay, wait, keep going. Oh, right there. Okay.
I hate that that's even a thing.
I agree, and they're not going to challenge. Yeah. That's a good try by Martinez, but Hayward clubs one out in the deep right, and it will go midway up the bleachers. It's 8-1.
Never mind hit and run, hit and jog. 2-0 fastball up. And Hayward just blasts this ball for his second home run of the year. Toyota home run replay. It's a two-seamer, not sinking. It's so hard. He's knocking people over out there like bowling pins.
First home run of the day for the Cubs. Lester smokes one into center. Got everybody in the lineup with a hit except Contreras, who reached on a hit by pitch.
Cubs have had a 4-hit inning, a 5-hit inning, and now a 3-hit inning, 12 on the day.
Ball one to Almora. No Zobrist, no Happ today. Cubs with 8 runs on 12 hits.
Zoe was scratched from the lineup the other day with a stiff back. And he is available off the bench this afternoon. In all likelihood, won't be needed.
One and two on Albert. We just saw Anibal Sanchez with the Braves. He goes to the DL. Strained right hamstring. Diamondbacks Taiwan Walker going to have Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, boy, he's had a tough go of it. I've seen him maybe 3 springs ago, and it looked like he was ready just to take off.
Back to Bowman. He'll get Lester at second. Fielder's choice for Almora. Baez 2 for 3. He and his WBC Puerto Rico teammate Yadier Molina have a brief chat. Wasn't Molina the catcher, right, when Baez did the no-look tag? He was celebrating and looking and pointing at Yadi.
Yep.
Outside, ball 1. Mike Napoli, playing in the minor leagues with the Indians, suffered a significant left knee injury the other night. I wonder about his career at this point. He's 36 years old. Remember, the Indians brought him in as a non-roster invitee just to give him a showcase, even though they didn't have a spot on their roster. One tap foul. Cubs lead 8-1. Dropped the opener Tuesday night 5-3. Trying to make it a 3-4 homestand. It was scheduled to be a 9-gamer, but the weather has been really the biggest story of the entire homestand.
That's one of the bigger stories around baseball. All the postponements, what are there, 25 of them at least?
Yes. So I guess looking at a 3-4 homestand possibly. Count the postponements.
Last pitch, that's a chase pitch for Javi when he's not locked in like he is now. And you can tell just the way a guy takes a pitch. He's seeing it really well, confident in the batter's box.
More on the move here. 3-2, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 2-run blast. Jason Hayward against his former team. And the Cubs lead St. Louis 8-1 after 5.
Lester on the hill. Cubs didn't play yesterday, but certainly won the night with the 8th annual Bricks and Ivy Ball that raised $1.8 million for Cubs charities. That pushes the total over the last 8 years to just around $12 million. The night was well attended by the entire team, and silent auction items ranged from everything from, signed memorabilia to game day experiences to the art of baseball, that rendition of the Mona Lisa that Joe Maddon had made back in spring training to remind the team that that's what he wants them to do all season, is put the art back in baseball. That painting alone fetched $50,000. So, Len, JD, where are you guys going to hang that up there?
Wow, that's impressive. I'll find a place for it. I got a question for you, Dion.
Yes.
You are in the sun. It's 47. It doesn't sound like baseball weather, but it's got to feel a heck of a lot better than it did last week.
I would say that this is the first time I've ever been at Wrigley and shed actual layers. It feels so much warmer down here, for sure. It's such a difference. It actually feels like spring.
That's good to know. And it certainly looks that way with the sun shining as Fowler fouls. So 2-2 on the Cardinal leadoff man. And I'm sure you brought the heavy artillery for this trip. Might have a warm day, warmish on Sunday, but cool temperatures in Denver and Cleveland coming up.
Yeah, layers. I brought layers.
Last time we were in Cleveland, it was in the 70s in November. Called strike 3 to get Fowler. Sunday, April 29th, the Cubs host the Brewers at 1:20. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving adults 21 and older receive a Cubs slouch beanie presented by Jim Beam. Tickets are still available for that game at Cubs.com. Sharply hit grounder by Bader. He has now reached twice. First time via a hit. Only their second of the day.
That strikeout of Fowler, number 7 for John here this afternoon. It's a season high for him. He punched out 6 Brewers back on April 5th. That was his second start of the year.
He was on the radio this morning and it was asked what changes John Lester has made to kind of combat the launch angle era. I said basically he's the same guy he's always been, although maybe occasional elevation on purpose, but John does not strike you as the kind of guy who's going to change a whole lot, and why would he, considering the success he's had in his career?
Yeah, I talked to him after the Pirates started, and he was frustrated he didn't get the ball in as effectively as he would like to against the right-handed hitters, and we have seen him elevate the fastball a little bit. The thing about John Lester, and any pitcher who has great command, they can make that adjustment if the scouting report says, you know what, you need to elevate on this guy from time to time. He has the ability to make that pitch. It does kind of go against the grain of what he's always done. Cutter down, sinker away, change up, all the good work he does down in the zone. Most pitchers, whether it's little league, high school, college, minor leagues, as you work your way through, the constant message you hear is keep the ball down, keep the ball down, keep the ball down. Now the message is starting to change, like elevate. Guys are looking to lift that ball down in the zone.
Lester holding the ball for an extra beat as Bader took his lead at first. So again, even with an 8-1 lead, Lester grinding away here in the 6th inning. Left on left change that time in the dirt.
Something he doesn't do often, but when the kind of hitter that Carpenter is will force you out of your game a little bit. You have to try something different, especially when you're seeing him for the third time. Cardinal hitters have gotten a lot of looks at John since he joined the Cubs. He made 5 starts against them last year.
Pop fly, shallow right center, and coming in and making the crest high grab, Almora. He likes to make that catch a little lower, and it's routine. So it's Ozuna who has struck out twice.
According to the Cardinal press guide, Ozuna's nickname is Big Bear. I'd never heard that before.
You might have to research that.
Yeah. Well.
Marcell is a relative of former big league infielder, outfielder Pablo Ozuna. That Tiger game in Detroit, 13-7 over Baltimore in the top of the ninth. A 4-for-4, 3 RBI day for Jeimer Candelario, the former Cub, including his 3rd home run. So he's off to a good start, slashing 284, 360, 537. Ozuna rounds out to Bryant. He's 0 for 3, and the Cubs lead the Cardinals big, 8-1 in the 6th inning. Seven Eyewitness News at 10 with Alan Kraszewski, Kathy Brock, Cheryl Burton, meteorologist Cheryl Scott, and sports with Mark Giangreco. Bottom of the 6th, the Cubs lead the Cards 8-1. Bowman to Bryant, and it's in there for a strike. 2 knocked in for Chris. A little low. 1-1. Paid crowd today, 29,648. Cubs out hitting the visitors 12-2.
Ouch.
Another Cub hit. Right, so we had to hit batters to the hits. It's 14.
Thank goodness for that pad. Bryant's been hit a couple of times up there already this year. Bryant is a really tough matchup, well, for most guys, but for Bowman, that sinker moving down and in, that really fits Bryant's swing. So he elevates a little bit, tries to jam him, and overcooks it.
He's the major league leader. He's been hit 6 times already in just 16 games. Outside on Rizzo.
Bowman maybe having a hard time getting on top of the ball, and so instead of getting a good sink, he's getting a lot of running action.
One and one.
The Xfinity strike zone showing you fastball away, curveball for a strike from Bowman. Splitter. He'll use everything he's got here to try to get Rizzo as Eddie Butler gets ready out in the Cub pen.
Foul. So Lester, who had to wait a week and a day since his last start, will only have to wait 6 days before his next one, with the off day coming up Monday. Inside corner for strike 3.
Well, come on back, two-seamer does indeed get the inside corner for the strikeout.
Contreras. Strikeout, hit by pitch, popped to short. And that pitch is in tight. 1 ball, no strikes.
So he's the only guy who has not hit safely yet today for the Cubs.
That is correct. Will continue, I believe. Nope, he'll get another chance as Martinez, instead of getting over to the railing, he started to drift.
Yeah, and I think that the challenge on balls like that today, if you take your eye off the ball to find the railing, you might not find the ball again. But he thought he was closer to the dugout than he actually was. Shades might have helped, but Martinez, a former outfielder.
Harry Carey's fishing net may have helped too. Swing and a miss. Luke Gregerson off the DL prior to this series. Bowman's 1-2. Foul back our way.
I've been doing a lot of work upstairs. I don't know if that's by design or if he's just misfiring, but usually think of him down.
Short right and a base hit. So Contreras is on the hit board. Bryant advances to third. Cubs threatening again.
And it's an off-field hit. A good read by Bryant. Outstanding base runner. Both in terms of his speed, his technique, and his instincts on the bases.
Schwarber 2 run scoring singles. Yeah, that slash line right there, you'll take that at the end of the year. One ball and no strikes on Schwarber.
Caught a break.
Xfinity strike zone said it should be 0-1.
Yeah, it's right down there in the Charlie Reaver square. Well, he's been kind of content to hit the ball the other way up the middle so far today. Tried it last time as well and grounded out. He might have a different plan here on 2-0. Wasn't going to challenge with the heater there.
Luke Weaver went 4, gave up 6 runs on 9 hits. Cubs gave him a real rough ride in the first 2 innings. They scored 6 times as Schwarber draws the walk. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. The batter is Russell, and Mike Matheny might be making a double switch.
With that, even on 3-0, he went with a changeup. That's a Dal Maxville coming into the game.
This call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank. It's about time, and we'll be back. Ford inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Off to Denver to play the Rocks Friday through Sunday. And then a two-gamer in Cleveland before the Cubs return to Wrigley Field next week. Hi to all the fans on Gallagher Way, enjoying the sunshine. And Colton Wong in to play second as part of a double switch. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Chicago area native Luke Gregerson making his Cardinal debut after beginning the year on the DL with a left hamstring strain, and signed with the Cardinals after a very successful run with the Houston Astros.
He spent the last 3 years in Houston. Pitched 65 times last year, pitched to a 4.57 ERA. First came to the big leagues with the Padres back in '09. So he's got 9 years of big league service under his belt.
Pitched 5 times in the postseason last year, was not charged with a run as the Astros won the World Series. What do we got?
Into his mouth out there in the mound, and Jeff Nelson wanted to make sure he's wiping off, I'm guessing.
Bases full, 1 out. Gregerson from the wind here. And it's a strike to Russell.
Little cutter. He's always had the good slide ball.
Went to Morton High School. St. Xavier University.
Signed for this year and next. Roman left him a bit of a mess with the bases loaded. He's trying to pick up his new teammate. Gregerson's game reminds me of my old buddy Larry Anderson.
Sliders.
One slider after another from Larry.
Trying to get Russell to bite. And it's 2-2. Full count with the bases loaded.
The ability to throw that slider that starts on the plate and just breaks down and away off the plate that he's been so effective with over the years. Right now, it's not close enough. And you see those last 3 well out of the strike zone.
Double play chance. DeYoung, Wong, Martinez. So he does get the Cardinals out of the 6th in his team debut, but the Cubs lead this game 8-1. Everything Chicago. Join Ryan Cheverini and Val Warner for Windy City Live weekdays at 1 on ABC 7. Eddie Butler in relief of John Lester today.
Well, Lester was brilliant. Now Butler will work for the 6th time. 0-1 with a 245.
A wide one on Martinez.
Eddie worked on Saturday, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned in 3 2/3 innings of relief. And then behind Jose Quintana. That was on that crazy day here against the Braves.
Sure, Eddie's looking forward to the weekend in Denver. Chance to face his former team, maybe once or twice out of the bullpen. That is a strike.
But he's looking forward more to seeing his old teammates than actually pitching in that ballpark.
Tyler Chatwood will not pitch in that series. And Martinez draws the leadoff walk. Francisco Pena for Molina. I would say it's fairly possible, if the Cardinals have any big comebacks like the Cubs did on Saturday,
yeah,
that Yadier Molina will not be a part of any of them this year, right? Got to figure Mike Matheny, whenever he can, especially considering how often Molina starts, and try to give him a lot of time off in games like this to keep him fresh. And the Cardinals rallying here in the 7th. 2 men on, nobody out. That'll bring up Jerko, who has walked and singled. He actually picked up the Cardinals' initial hit of this game with a 1-out single in the 5th off Lester.
Triple plays in order.
Thinking a little bit of an around the horn ground ball to third.
Little sinker in on the hands.
Don't have a ton of speed on the bases. Yeah. You've been real good this year.
Yeah, it's the triple play is never a call. It's just a bag.
I don't think they're going to turn 3. In fact, they're not going to get an out, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
So he made the pitch. He got the ground ball, got weak contact, but a perfect swinging bunt there. And all of a sudden the Cardinals making some noise here. Albeit not really noisy noise. Leadoff walk, single the other way, and a slow roller, but it's bases loaded, nobody out. And Eddie Butler's got some work to do here. Dangerous hitter in the box.
Yeah, as you would say, a quiet noise to start the 7th. A strike on DeYoung.
DeYoung has swung and missed a whole bunch this year. Coming into this one, had struck out in 44% of his plate appearances.
And he also has 5 home runs. And that is Steve Cishek. getting ready, and he's not taking a lot of time in doing so.
Yeah, that call to the bullpen will come with different directions depending on the situation. A lot of times, hey, get so-and-so up. No urgency, just get him throwing. Watch the inning develop. Other times it's get him up and get him hot in a hurry. I don't want this thing to get sideways on us.
Well, he got the 2 strikes now. A couple pitches well out of the zone. You don't want to walk him here. You're leading this game by 7 runs.
Yeah, it's a tough situation where you've got what feels like a comfortable lead. You don't want to be walking people with the bases loaded, but at the same time, you don't want to groove one to a dangerous hitter. So
Colton Wong on deck. Butler needs an out here.
stay away from damage. Good quality strike down and away.
It's foul to third.
I think that's a tough pitch to execute, though, especially with all the movement he gets on his 2-seamer. That ball has a lot of run. So when he tries to go away, the danger is it's going to run right back into the sweet spot. This time it runs way in on his hands. But you see where Contreras was set up. They're trying to go to the outside edge.
Another try here on 3-2. And DeYoung with a very late emergency swing.
And protecting against the breaking ball late on the heater.
That is Colton Wong, who just came into the game in the bottom of the 6th.
He's got very good stuff, good movement on the fastball. He throws hard, but he's never been much of a strikeout pitcher.
Eight pitches and counting to Paul DeYoung. And a bases loaded free pass. It's 8-2. And Joe will make a move. So this call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Here comes Steve Cishek. Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Second baseman,
Lakeside Bank call to the pen. Steve Cishek. A run in, bases loaded, nobody out. Cubs lead by 6 as the Cardinals try to rally here late.
It's a battle of wills here. Cishek's going to work the bottom of the strike zone with sinkers and sliders, and Wong's going to try to get something up a little bit. He can drive. And Cishek has been winning most of the battles so far this year. He's been outstanding with an ERA of 1, 9 innings of work. Come in with 9 men on base so far this year, and he's not allowed any of them to score.
It'll be a tall order to strand all 3 here, but he's 0-2 on Wong. High for a ball that time.
And when you watch Cishek pitch, you get a real appreciation for his ability to execute the plan. Down, down, let's elevate, show him something up above the hands. He makes that pitch. So not a pinch hit assignment for Wong. He came in the double switch, but he's been very effective off the bench in his career. Good with the bases loaded.
And that pitch hit him. And it's 8-3. First inherited runner Cishek has allowed to score. Pena forced in.
number 25, right fielder, Hector Fowler.
Wong willing to hang in there and take one for the team. This inning starting to look like the Cubs inning they had against Atlanta the other day.
Yeah, walk,
so
single, infield hit, walk with the bases loaded, and a hit batter forcing in a run. All of a sudden, JD, the tying run is on deck with nobody out.
Yeah, only one ball has left the infield here in this inning, and now the lineup turns over to the top.
Ground ball. They'll get one. That's all they'll get. And the Cardinals get a couple runs as a result. Jerko was going to score anyway. DeYoung scores as Baez's throw got past Rizzo. So fielder's choice RBI. And the error to Baez, allowing that second runner to score.
Yeah, as the play developed, you saw Russell go into the hole to make the play. You're thinking that's not a double play ball, but we've seen Baez pull some things off out there because he has such a strong arm, and if the throw's on the money, that would have been close at first base. So, you know, you could argue he shouldn't have made the throw, but watch the timing of this play. It doesn't feel like a double play, but Russell's quick. Baez has got the big strong arm. It would have been close at first base.
So it's now a 3-run ball game. They've scored 4 times. And it's Harrison Bader.
The third error committed by the Cubs here this afternoon.
Bounced foul into the Cubs dugout.
Pitcher spot is next, and Tommy Pham is out on deck. Pena and Wong have already been used, as has O'Neill, the rookie. So Pham and Garcia remaining on the bench for Mike Matheny.
That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
Cechek's been a guy throughout his career has gotten a lot of balls on the ground. You wonder if Mike Matheny will start Fowler here at some point.
Not going 2-2. And we will try it again.
Get to this stage of the game. A lot of clubs are hesitant to take chances on the bases. You only have so many outs to play with. You got a guy behind the plate who can really throw.
Popped him up. Rizzo drifting, and he's got it. For out number 2. A tough play with the sun in the wind.
He was able to do what Martinez wasn't able to do earlier, and that is shade his eyes so he could take a look and find where he was on the field in relationship to the dugout.
Pham out of the lineup today, dealing with right groin tightness, suffered on Tuesday, but here he is as a pinch hitter. So the only available player left on their bench is Greg Garcia, as Pena will stay in and catch for Molina. Off the inside corner to Pham. Tough day for Eddie Butler, did not record an out. He gave up 4 runs. Fly ball center field, and it's Almora to make the grab. So the Cardinals getting back into this game. It's now 8-5 Cubs, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch.
Direct your attention to the outfield video boards.
All right. Let me hear you. Good and loud. On 1, on 2, on 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey!
Greg Holland in to pitch the 7th. Been a struggle for him after signing with the Cardinals after opening day. So a new battery, Holland and Francisco Pena.
Let's take a look at the home run cam brought to you by Toyota. It's a 2-0 pitch, a fastball up, and Hayward Pumped it into the seats and right for his second home run. Toyota, tested, trusted, Toyota. Let's go places.
Wong in the outfield grass.
The assumption is that Greg Holland will move into the closer's role. That's something he's done very effectively throughout his career. A bunch of saves with the Rockies last year. Right now, Bud Norris is in that role, and he's doing a very nice job.
Four pinch hits among his 6. Tied for the most pinch hits in the majors, Tommy La Stella.
If they gave a Manny Moto award to the best pinch hitter, he'd be a candidate.
Yeah. Jerko, the third baseman, in. And outside for ball 1. One and one.
It's not a real hard thrower. Good breaking stuff and a funky delivery. He really flies off to the first base side.
Yeah, he looks like he throws hard. He's got that max effort delivery.
A lot of effort.
One to La Stella. And ball 4. That's been Holland's problem so far, is walks.
Yeah, and he, trying to hit the outside corner there. 3-1 with a guy who doesn't hit the ball out of the ballpark. Also being a little bit more aggressive, but he's trying to pick away at that outside corner.
So more traffic for the Cubs as Almora steps in. Cubs got 2 in the first, 4 in the second, and 2 on the Hayward homer in the 5th. Cardinals with 1 in the first unearned off John Lester, and then 4 in the 7th to make it a 3-run ball game. Hey, the Mariners turned a triple play. So somebody did.
Yeah, sure.
Against Houston today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Almora is out, number 2. Monday, April 30th is Restaurateurs, Bartenders, and Barista Professionals Night. All participants 21 and older who purchase tickets through the Cubs Community Nights page will get a pair of Cubs-themed texting gloves presented by Jim Beam. For more info, it's Cubs.com/community nights. Baez with 2 outs and a man on first. Right down the middle. Nothing in 2.
You notice Javi didn't check that time? He likes to check himself, the first base umpire. And
I think he only likes to check when he
knows he didn't go. Yeah,
didn't.
It's like he's pointing at, don't you dare.
Fly ball out in the left. Ozuna right in front of the track, now in a few more steps to end the Cubs' 7th. They strand 1. They lead 8-5 late. Final, Tigers beat up the Orioles 13-8. Get great deals on the Chrysler Pacifica at the Chrysler Spring Sales event. Mariners trail the Astros 1-0 in the 5th. Evan Gattis at the plate. Little check swing bouncer. 1, 2. Where was 3? Yeah, there was some confusion. I don't know where the 3rd out was.
Did he step on home plate when he hit the ball?
Oh, was it a oh, Gattis rounded the bag and was tagged out.
Okay.
So maybe he thought he was out. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
That's what the story says here. He rounded first straight into the middle of the infield, tagged for the 3rd out.
He probably thought the inning ended. He probably thought the inning ended on the play at second base.
Well, he was right.
Yeah. It's always important to know how many outs there are. Carl Edwards has been striking everybody out.
2-2 on Marcell Ozuna.
Not literally, it just feels like it, but he's worked 8 innings and punched out 15. Just under half the batters he has faced. And usually it's swinging on that cutting fastball moving down and away from a right-handed hitter. Look at that.
Just struck out Ozuna.
That's a hat trick for the Big Bear today. Hydroplaning heater.
Martinez started their 4-run 7th inning rally with a leadoff walk. And fouls off.
3-run lead. It is a safe situation, so you figure Edwards here in the 8th, Morrow in the 9th. If Carl can get him 1, 2, 3, that'll be the bottom of the order that Morrow would have to deal with, albeit a dangerous one. Jerko DeYoung, and now Wong, who came in earlier in the game in a double switch. He's in the 9th spot in the batting order.
Out into right center. And a base hit. Pena, the catcher, who hit for Molina and singled in the 7th. Here would score. Dominic Leone is up. Francisco is Tony Pena's son. The former Royal and Oriole. So how about the 2 Cardinal catchers? You've got Yadier Molina, whose 2 older brothers were big league catchers. You've got Francisco Pena, whose father was a big league catcher, and whose brother Tony was a shortstop. And did he not try pitching too?
I do not know.
Let me see here. Yeah. He did, in fact. 1-2.
Well, Tony Pena, Sr., was one of the better throwing catchers in his day. Ooh, that's a good pitch.
This time he got him. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB at Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Jerko with a man on and 2 down takes a curve low and outside. Two balls, no strikes. Don't want to walk him and bring DeYoung to the plate as a potential tying run. scope of this game changed in the 7th, with the Cardinals putting up 4, kind of forcing Joe to maybe use more pitchers than he thought he would a couple of innings ago, and as you said, probably his closer today. Not the end of the world, though, considering how little work everybody's getting with all these off days.
Yeah, a bunch of fresh arms out there in the pen, and you're always concerned heading into a series in Colorado because things can get pretty wacky out there, but by and large, everybody pretty fresh.
2-1 on Jerko.
Something you really want to avoid if you can is a long extra inning affair before heading into a series at Coors Field.
Three and one. Rockies are off today, back home. This originally was a travel day for the Cubs. And after yesterday's game was postponed, they're playing this afternoon and they lead 8-5, although the Cardinals have the tying run now coming to the plate.
And again, it's DeYoung, a dangerous hitter. Last time he was up there with the bases loaded and took a walk to drive in a run. Jerko's had an outstanding day, on base all 4 times, a couple of singles, a couple of walks.
Fastball at 95 for strike 1.
Edwards and Luke Weaver, the Cardinal starter here. We've had 2 single-digit pitchers in the game. That's pretty rare. Weaver wears number 7, Edwards number 6.
One and one on Paul DeYoung. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year balloting last year. Cody Bellinger was the unanimous winner. Jim Hickey will head out.
Yeah, you know, Contreras was out there earlier. Something about Carl's body language today. Something's bothering him a little bit. Or he might be reading something into it that's not there.
So 2-1 on DeYoung. 2 men on, 2 down. 8th inning.
With Edwards' strikeout rate and DeYoung's strikeout rate, the punch out is the most likely outcome here. But you still have to execute.
Wind has quieted down. Blowing in, but not very hard at the moment. Here's the pitch. He held.
Good job by DeYoung. That was very tempting. That cutting fastball, starting on the outside edge, then running off the plate.
Martinez and Jerko will get a head start with 2 outs. The 3-2 called, strike 3. All the outs were strikeouts here in the 8th. Cardinals strand a couple, and it's still 8-5 Cubs.
Brought to you by Feldco, and John Lester outstanding today, but he got a little help from his friends as well. Cardinals made some hard contact early in the game. There's Almora going to the wall to track one down. Carpenter put a pretty good swing on this one. Hayward ultimately hauls that one in. And then in the fourth inning, maybe the play of the game defensively, Chris Bryant snaring that line drive. Save big at Feldco. Get 2 windows for the price of 1. Call 866 for Feldco today. Comes Dominic Leone. We saw him the other day. He's pitching for the 9th time, 1-2 with a 5.14. Hasn't walked anybody yet in 7 innings, and he's punched out 11.
Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras. Cubs lead 8-5 in the 8th inning. Knocked in a run in the first inning that tied the game on a single. Sac fly in the second. That was the big inning for the Cubs today. They put up 4. Hit by a pitch in the 6th.
Morrow, if it's a save situation, Wilson, if the Cubs add on, in all likelihood, that would be the plan.
Way up in the air. Bader coming on. Fowler, though, will call him off. Now Rizzo. You want to be in the sun today.
Leon,
47 when we got started.
Yeah. Breeze has kind of alternated at times. Sat down a little bit and then freshened. Not too bad right now. I was going to say one of the new faces out there in the Cardinal bullpen this year. Holland as well, and Bud Norris. Gregerson, this kid Hicks that we saw the other day, the 21-year-old rookie throwing 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, he's really intriguing.
Last year, Leon was a Blue Jay.
You're saying next year he might be an Oriole?
Yeah, he's going to do the whole bird thing. 65 appearances last year and a 256 earned run average.
Two and one on Anthony Rizzo. The pitch through the shift, and he's got his 3rd hit today. He had 3 hits on the year going into action. He was 3 for 31 starting the day.
It was a matter of time before the big fella got rolling. Came in batting .097. Cardinals got Leone in a deal with the Blue Jays. Randall Grichuk, the outfielder, went to Toronto.
Swing and a miss by Contreras. Rizzo's batting average now up to 171. Foul tip, 0-2. You know, JD, they had this Magnera's Sierra ball player.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Just going to let that sit there for those who watch us every night. Fouled back. Still 0-2.
You can't be a Luddite in these modern times, and Leon learned to cut fastball by watching YouTube videos of Mariano Rivera.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Fly ball out toward Fowler. And he makes a catch. Let's check in with Dion.
Well, and you've noticed my hat has returned. That's because the sun has disappeared from the third base side of the field. So I'm over here in the sun, and the difference in temperature, you mentioned it earlier, it is significant. I want to say it's a 10-degree difference. I mean, I could see my breath standing over there. I'm feeling much more comfortable here in the sunshine. So this side of the field certainly getting that warmth right now.
I'm noticing the fans are kind of huddling in the sun, and there's right where that line is. See all the empty seats in the shade. Yeah,
if you can move, you do. That is for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Dion. Schwarber lines right to DeYoung. Positioned himself perfectly, so Schwarber with 2 hits hit that one hard. To the ninth, 8-5 Cubs.
Doppler 7 Max, the most advanced technology, live Doppler 7 Max only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
7th appearance for the closer Brandon Morrow. Ian Happ now playing left for Kyle Schwarber and put in the 9th spot in the batting order. This is a save spot with a 3-run lead.
2 for 2 so far in save opportunities for Brandon. He works for the 7th time.
1-1 on Colton Wong.
Works quickly, throws a lot of strikes. Works up and down in the zone, cutters in on the lefties. Good slider. Plus fastball.
Right back to Brandon. That's out number 1 here in the ninth. That'll bring up Dexter Fowler, hitless in the series. 0 for 7 with 2 walks.
That disappeared on him. Edwards an inning, a hit, no runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts.
A lot of great Cub highlights for Dexter Fowler. How about the leadoff home run off Corey Kluber to start Game 7 of the World Series? Off the end of the bat, Happ over into that shaded area, makes the grab. 2 down. I'll go down memory lane, no doubt, for that 2-game series in Cleveland next week. Harrison Bader with 2 outs.
And Morrow's been a big leaguer since breaking in with Seattle way back in 2007. First as a bullpen guy, then he became a starting pitcher primarily with Toronto. Had some injury issues, moved back into the bullpen. And just outstanding for the Dodgers last year after starting the year in the minor leagues. Get the sense watching him pitch, you're going to have to beat him. And he's not going to beat himself.
He's a strike away.
Looking to say, see you later, Harrison Bader.
Florida Gator. One, 2. Full count. Last man on the Cardinal bench, Greg Garcia, is on deck. Called strike 3. Cubs win. Cubs win. They earn a 2-game series split. And it's back to the road, off to Colorado and Cleveland starting tomorrow. Cubs are 8-8 to start the year.
John Lester outstanding here this afternoon with 6 innings of a 2-hit ball. He allowed 1 run. It was not earned. Eddie Butler out of the pen struggled a little bit, but the rest of the guys were outstanding. And the Cardinals, man, they took a lot of third pitch strikes, fastballs right through the heart of the plate. Edwards had a couple. That's how Morrow finishes this ball game. And contributions up and down the lineup from the Cub hitters today.
More to come from Wrigley Field here on ABC 7. Final score: Cubs 8, Cardinals 5.